Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, a couple of weeks ago I did a video at the G3 car auction in Yorkshire where I bought something quite interesting. So today I thought I'd show you around it. You're going to love this, by the way. It's a really cool car, this. What I bought was a 2011 Renault Laguna. Now before you get bored and stop watching, let me explain. It isn't just any Renault Laguna, it's a Renault Laguna Coupe. Now I've never had one of these, but I've been desperate to get one on the channel for some time. I've just always liked them and always been intrigued by them. And I think from the back, they're very pretty. In fact, better than that, I think from that angle, I think it's sexy. From the front, I think it's very average, and the inside is very Megane, but, you know, good news about the back. Anyway, I paid just £700 for this car. In fact, no, I think it was $725. I got a bit carried away with my paddle. There were some auction fees to be paid on top of that, so by the time I drove it away, I think it owed me the best part of £1,000. I think my total invoice was something like $980. But still, for a car as interesting as this, I was quite happy with that. Now, I drove it all the way back from wherever we were, Castleford, near Pontefract. I was in the car for probably an hour and a half, and it was completely faultless. I was really impressed by it. Also, something else to mention, when I did a vehicle history check on it, it all checked out fine. So it had never been stolen, written off, never had a mileage rollback, and didn't have any outstanding finance on it. For these checks, I always use a company called Car Vertical, and if you'd like to do one for yourself, you can save yourself 20% with my promo code, HIGHPEAK. That's HIGHPEAK, all one word, HIGHPEAK, and yeah, you'll save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do. As we can see, the mileage is around 150,000 miles. It's fairly consistent every single year. If we scroll down further to the MOT history, it's not too bad. There are a few advisory items over the years, but nothing to prevent me buying it. So I think in the end, I've bought something half decent. Should we go and have a look around it? I'll see you there. Well, we're here, and obviously I've seen this car before, but it is a good looking thing, isn't it? It's quite striking. I've got a flat tyre, actually. Now, I didn't look at this too thoroughly when I bought it, because, well, I was in a bit of a rush, to be honest. I had somewhere to be that evening, so my main concern wasn't that Laguna. But I remember seeing the wing mirror cover was missing, because I'm quite observant like that. That needs to be replaced. In fact, the indicator's hanging out of it. There's a little scuff on the near side front bumper there, which I don't remember seeing. Could well have happened here, actually, I don't know. And also the wheels want refurbing. But yeah, looks all right. My brother dropped it off at the car wash for me, so it's had a nice little mini valet, so it should look all right. The inside was a little bit grubby, but it should be all right now after a mini valet. Let me go and show you around it then. Sadly, we do only have the Juan key, the single key. But that's the only negative, really. It's quite tidy on the bodywork. Yeah, we've got a flat tyre there. Now, I didn't really thoroughly inspect this, so we'll just start over, shall we? A few little marks here on the back bumper, but that'll buff out. A little bit of a rust spot there, to be fair, but it's not the end of the world. We've got a runway tyre there on about 4mm of tread. The rear brake discs look a bit ropey, actually. Might have to get those replaced. I'll refurbish the wheels. It could do with a good buff, actually. Looks a little bit flat. Probably looks all right on camera, but up close, it is a bit flat. But yeah, how pretty is that? It is a little bit, I know I'm being kind to it now, but it's a little bit Aston Martin, don't you think? No? Just me? All right, moving on then. In fact, no, I don't care what you say. It's a pretty car, that. Look at its twin exhausts and stuff. It's quite cool, isn't it? Okay then, what else? Oh, we've got a 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating. Impressive. Up front, we've got another scabby brake disc there and a very scabby wheel, so these needs to go to Prestige ASAP. We've got an auto green, no expense spared on these tyres. That's on about 5mm, so that's pretty decent actually. It's quite straight down the panels there, no supermarket door dents. Yeah, from the front it's a bit sort of average, isn't it? In fact, it's a little bit Ford Cougar-ish, isn't it? Not the four-wheel drive one, the old Cougar. Headlamps could do with a buff there. And yeah, maybe paint that bumper corner. I could touch that in, but it might look a bit of a state. Having said that, this car's done 150, so, I mean, where do you stop? Have we got another auto green? No, okay, we don't. So we've got 3-odd tyres. This is a Rotala on about 3mm of tread. But yeah, I think once those wheels are refurbished, it should look quite good. I'll find a mirror cap from somewhere. That obviously can be pushed back in there. Oh, look at that, look, fixed it already. I am Ed China, aren't I? There's a little scratch there, look. I can touch that in carefully. It's all right though, don't you think? Well, we've got a matching runway. So we've got runways on the rear and whatever the other ones were, auto green and Rotala. So yeah, there she is. That, you know, almost is a bit Audi A5-ish Mark 1, don't you think? Let me show you inside then. So the central locking work, there was one fault actually. As you were driving along, occasionally it would flash up to say key card not recognised, when of course the key was in the dash. It's just this is poor Renault build quality. Could do with a set of mats, could do with a good valet because the seats are a bit stained. But the headlining is quite clean, smells quite clean. Now the paperwork's there. It does have a bit of history. It's not full, but there's a bit. So it isn't the end of the world, that really. I think I'll run it in for a fresh service. The boot's not a bad size either. Just wants a very good valet, I think. Under there we've got a spare tyre there on a steel wheel. Locking wheel nut. Oh, you can fold the rear seats down as well. Yeah, I think with a very good clean. So very good clean, very good buff. Wheels refurbished and a full service. I think I've got a little bit of profit here. Oh, and a wing mirror cover. I think this could be, excuse that, French build quality. Clicking check strap there, obviously, because it's French. I think this could be a £2.5 car, to be honest. So I think if I could spend maybe £750 on it, I think there's another £750 in it. Yeah. Isofix points in the back. You know, it's all right, this. It's all right. What else can I tell you about it? The sat-nav doesn't work for some reason. We press the button and it says something like, I don't know, disk not found or something. I can't imagine 2011 sat-nav being very good anyway. I think this 2-litre engine has a timing chain, not a belt. So that's not a concern. Got a little drawer there for your snails. What else can I tell you? Got some auxiliary leads there, look. Very old technology that, isn't it? Is there a drawer? No, there's no drawer. Right, I'll tell you what then, let me get this... See what I mean? Look, key card not recognised, that's the annoying thing. Key card not recognised, and of course the key's in it. So you've got to sort of play around with the key. And then it's fine. Anyone who's ever had a Laguna, I think, it will be used to this. I was just about to say, my steering's very heavy, but I know the reason. And that, of course, is my next job. There's a, I don't know why I'm telling you this actually, I just like to share. There's a Will Young cover of that song that's really good. It's on some sort of BBC Sounds thing. Right, let me get my tyre compressor out. Excuse my messy boots, by the way. So we've got this there, and my booster pack. There we go. Pop those stools back in there. Right, give me 2 minutes then. Get this pumped up. Very tight thread that actually. There we go. My auto green's flat, isn't it? Oh, I don't even need that. What am I thinking of? This has got a battery built in. Have we got any charge in it? Oh, we do. I don't even know what I've got, do I? Turn this on then. Set that to... I don't even know what that should be on, 20. We'll pop 30 in it, shall we? Away she goes. As soon as that's pumped up then, we'll get out on the road. Right, let's fire her up then. Bear in mind, I have already driven this car, so I know it drives very well. Electronic handbrake, which I don't really like. Bit of Anastasia, turn you off for now. So yeah, I did about an hour and a half in this, and it was fine. Completely faultless. There was no wheel wobble, there was no sort of brake judder, wasn't pulling to one side or the other. It was all pretty good, I was quite impressed with it. I put £30 of diesel in it before I left Castleford, and I've still got a quarter of a tank right now. So it will be very efficient, this car. And you know what, to say it's done 150,000 miles, it's pretty good. You know what was funny actually, when I was picking this car up, you go to a little sort of porter cabin thing near the gates, right at the end of the auction, and then one of the members of staff there brings it to the gate so that you don't have to go and get it yourself. As I approached him, he looked at me all sort of, I don't know, sort of suspiciously, and he went, "You're not French, are you?" I said, "No, why?" I said, "No. What have you bought one of these for?" I said, "I don't know, I just fancied one, I've never had one before." And he said, "Well, I'll tell you something for now. You'll not have another." Okay, cheers for that, pal. Thanks very much. I quite like it. First things first then, I think I need to go and get this tyre repaired. So obviously picked up a puncture somewhere. I think I'll blame my brother, he was the last person to drive it. While it's down there at my mechanics and having the tyre repaired, I think I'll get them to give it a full service, check over the brakes and stuff and make sure they're all right. I think perhaps either clean off those brake discs or replace them. I don't know how far gone they are. But saying that, there was no sort of vibration on the pedal, so they might be all right. This has got an MOT until next September, I think, or October. It's almost got like 12 months ticket on it. And there was only one advisory item. Can't even remember what it was now, but it wasn't anything serious. So I'll probably try and get that cleaned up. Then it'll have a fresh MOT. Then I'll run it to Prestige and get the wheels refurbished. Then I think in the middle of all this, I need to order a wing mirror cover. Bromley Market's on today. That's why it's so busy. Yeah, once I've ordered the wing mirror, it'll probably come unpainted. I'll run it down to Jimmy, get him to paint the wing mirror cover, give the whole car a buff, maybe touch in or paint that bumper corner. Then send it to Tameside Detailing for a valet, order some mats, and voila. We're pretty much done. I just thought of all the cars that I saw at auction, this was probably the most interesting. You just don't see them. I've probably only seen half a dozen in my entire life. I haven't kept a record, I'm not that sad, honestly. But yeah, they're just as rare as hen's teeth. The radio works, the windows work, the mirrors work. My air conditioner I haven't tried, but the heater worked. And we're coming into winter now, so I'd never know whether it worked or not, to be fair. We've got cruise control down here. Typical Renault fashion, they've put it in the least obvious place. Oh, we've got a cup holder, look at that. Very fancy. It's just quite a cool car, isn't it? I know the inside's very, well, very Renault, but it's all right. Quite like it. I don't even know whether they made this, but this would have been quite cool with like a 3-litre petrol V6, wouldn't it, and an automatic gearbox. Or that 3.5 V6 from the Velsatis. I don't know. I don't even know if they made that car. I'm just talking rubbish now, aren't I? Right, let me run this down to my mechanics then, crack on with the work, and I'll have an update for you in about 5 seconds' time. How's that? And we're back in my cheap Renault Laguna Coupe, and I think you'll agree, it looks stunning. Bear in mind, this is the first car I've ever bought at auction, and, you know, it'd done 150,000 miles, the wheels were a bit of a mess, it looked a little bit sorry for itself. Now look at it. Just this once, allow me to indulge in a little bit of self-praise. I think I've done a really good job with this. It looks, well, looks beautiful. After we last spoke, I took this down to my mechanics because it needed a puncture repair. I also left it there for a service and a clean MOT. I thought while it was down there, they might pick up on a few bits and pieces because, of course, it's a 13-year-old, 150,000 mile Renault. And yeah, they did. It needed a few little bits doing, but nothing too serious. So happily, I got away largely unscathed. A couple of days later, I picked it up from there and I ran it over to Prestige Wheels in Bredbury. Now, if you remember, the wheels were a bit of a mess. So I asked them to powder coat them and they look as good as new. So thanks, Rob and the team at Prestige. If you're in the area, by the way, definitely check them out. Where did it go from there? Oh, Jimmy the Magician. So I picked it up from Prestige Wheels and I took it down to Jimmy, my painter, and he's done a really good job. I asked him to, what did he do now? There was a scuffed bumper corner near side front. I asked him to repaint that and then buff the whole car. And it's come up looking really good. I also ordered a new mirror cap for it, which came primed. So he painted that for me and fitted it, and that's finished it off nicely. From there, all it really needed was a good clean. So I took it to Tameside Detailing for a full valet, picked it up from there this morning, got it back to work, fitted some new reg plates, which I ordered from Harrods, just to finish off the job, and that's about it. I think while it was at Jim's, he also buffed the headlamps. So the whole car just, well, it really doesn't look like it's done 150k. I'm really quite pleased with this, you know. Perhaps you can tell. So I photographed it outside my gate at the garage and I've advertised it. Now I put it on the website for 2,495. Now bear in mind I paid just £700 for this car plus auction fees. I think, well, yeah, I spent more than that again fixing it up, but I think there's still some profit in it for me. What we're going to do now then on this nice snowy scenic day is find a nice little spot and I'll talk you through my costs. I've just got my fingers crossed that there's still maybe £500 or £600 profit in it for me. I think there is. I hope there is. That's a worrying sign in my two-wheel drive Renault Laguna. The Qashqai passing was thick with snow. Oh, it's not too bad actually. This time last year I got stuck up here in a two-wheel drive Golf. I figured out the problem with the key card, by the way. Now, sometimes if you push it all the way in, it doesn't start. It says key not recognised. So you've got to sort of leave it 3/4 of the way in, and then it works like a charm every single time. So, typical French electrics, really. You've got to know how to get the most out of them. Well, that's a nice view, isn't it? That'll do. Right. Pop the old handbrake on then. Turn the engine off. Let me get my receipts out. So, if you remember, I paid £725, I think, for this car at auction, plus fees. So out the door, this car owed me something like £993. It was an odd amount. So we'll take £993. I put £30 of diesel in it, somewhere in Yorkshire. Right, first bill then. You ready for this? The bill at my mechanics for a service. It needed some wheel nuts because they couldn't find the locking wheel nut either. It needed some brake discs and pads, puncture repair, and an MOT test fee. That was £449.87. So £449.87. We'll add that in. Then we had the bill at Prestige Wheels. That was all the threes, £333. Costs are running away with themselves here. I know this already. My bill at Jimmy the Magician's was £275. So, repair and repaint front bumper, he's done the whole bumper there, wash clay bar full vehicle, buff, polish and wax, repaint the mirror cap, and a general detail and touch-in. He's done a really good job there, Jim, as he always does. £275 there at Jim's. Then we've got the cost of the mirror cap. Now, that was quite expensive, actually. It was £74.64. £74.64. My profit's dwindling, ladies and gents. What else? £70 for a valet. And £15 for some number plates. Right, this isn't a good lesson in how to make money from selling cars, really, this, guys. Still, as an experiment, this was my first car at auction. I haven't lost any money. If I get 2495, which I'm confident I can, then I'll have made a profit of, well, around 280 quid. This car currently owes me £2,210.51. So, guess what? I've massively overspent. The joys. But still, I'm quite pleased with the results, in fairness. I'm quite happy with it. I think I shall return to the old G3 auction one of these days and see if I can buy anything else that's interesting. Considering I'd never had a Laguna Coupe before and I'd always wanted to get one on the channel, that isn't too bad really, is it? If I can sort of, well, more than break even. I was going to say if I could break even, I'd be quite happy. But if I can make a few £100s, rescue a car, give it a new lease of life, you know, it's not a bad day's work, is it really? So I can't be too down. So I think that's about it. Oh, I should mention actually before I go, I'm wearing my new High Peak hoodie, which is superb quality. That was seamless, wasn't it? Nice little plug. They're available at highpeakstore.co.uk, just in time for Christmas. How's that? So yeah, cheers guys. Thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Make sure I don't curb a wheel here. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Adios.